Hi, and welcome to another lesson with Master Everyday English. In today's lesson, I'm going to help you understand how to rent accommodation in the United States. If that's a house, an apartment, a condo, I'm going to give you the information you need to learn how to have that conversation in English. To get us started, let's look at some of the common types of accommodation you can find in the United States. Now let's talk about today's lesson. Today's lesson is in 3 parts. In part 1, I'll give you the useful vocabulary that will help you to complete a conversation about renting in the United States. In part 2, you'll listen to a conversation between somebody looking to rent accommodation and a representative from a property management company. In part 3, I'll give you some really useful information that will help you when you go looking to rent accommodation in the United States. Let's get started with that really useful vocabulary that you can use when you're looking to rent accommodation in the United States. Landlord. The landlord is the person who is providing you or giving you the accommodation. Tenant. That's you. If you are renting accommodation, you are called the tenant. Property. Property is just the name for the building, if that's an apartment, a condo, or a house. Lease. Well, the lease is the contract that you sign with the landlord. Normally, these are 6 months to a year. Security deposit. The security deposit is an amount of money that you pay to the landlord in case anything is broken or there's any damage to the property. Now, this is refundable. That means you get the money back when you finish your lease. Utilities. The utilities are the bills that you normally have to pay, or maybe the bills your landlord pays. These include things like electricity, water, sewage. It may include your internet, or if you have gas in the property. First month's rent. Normally, if you're renting accommodation, you are expected to pay your first month, the first month of rental, in advance. So you pay before you move into the accommodation 1 month's rent. Prorate. Prorate means you don't pay for the full month. So for example, if you move into your accommodation on, say, the 15th of the month, then you only pay pro rate. That means you pay from the 15th until the end of the month. You don't pay for the whole month. Half bath. If you see a property and it says half bath, what that means is that it has a toilet and perhaps a sink, but normally it won't have a shower or a bathtub. Property management. If you're looking to rent accommodation and you don't speak specifically with the owner of the property, you will normally speak with property management or a property management company. That means it's an organization or a company that works for the landlord. Background check. You may be asked to provide a background check. This means the project management company or the landlord will check your background. They want to know about your employment history, your rental history. They might do a criminal background check. They might look for evictions if you had to leave another property for any reason. And they might also do a credit check where they check your ability to pay the rent and to pay your bills. Pet fee. If you have a dog or a cat or any kind of animal that you're taking into your new accommodation, you should tell your landlord or the property management company, because there might be a fee, especially if it's a dog or a cat. They'll have a small fee. Again, you pay at the start of your lease just to cover any potential damage to the property. Appliances. Appliances are the machinery in your house. So things that you have in your kitchen, for example, your dishwasher, your refrigerator, your stove, also things like your washing machine and your dryer. Altogether, those things are called appliances. Wear and tear. When you move into a new apartment or a new house, of course, over time, things will naturally get damaged. For example, if there's carpeting or, the walls or different things, they might get dirty, they might get damaged. And that's part of normal life living in an accommodation. Now, that's called wear and tear. Square footage. When you look at a property, very often they will tell you how big the property is in square footage. And so it's a good idea to learn square footage, to learn how much space you will be renting. Normally with square footage, we mean the amount of space that will be air conditioned or heated. So not normally things like a garage or any sort of outdoor buildings. Quiz time. Let's see if you can remember some of that vocabulary. So I will give you the definition, and I want you to try and remember what was the word. If you need to, go back, watch the video again, look at that vocabulary again, then start the video again and complete the quiz. The money you pay in advance just in case there is any breakage or damage to the property. Security deposit. The person who provides the accommodation. Landlord. The name for the bills you have to pay. Water, gas, electric. Utilities. When you pay, but not for the full month, normally when you start or finish your contract. Prorate. The normal damage that happens to a property over time. Wear and tear. The name for the contract you sign with the landlord or the property management company. The lease. When the landlord wants to check your employment history, your rental history, your credit score. Background check. The size of the property. Normally only the area inside the property that can be heated or air conditioned. Square footage. Now let's listen to that conversation. Again, this is a conversation between somebody who's looking to rent accommodation in the United States, and they're speaking with the property management agent. This could also be with the landlord, but this just gives you a good idea of the types of questions that you want to ask when you're looking to rent in the United States. If you like this video, click the link here and that'll take you to my channel where you'll find lots more videos about life and everyday conversations in the United States. Hi there, I'm here to see the house.
Sure, come on in. I'm Mary. I'm with the property management company. Have a look around the property and I'm here in the living room if you have any questions.
Okay, thanks. What's the square footage?
Yeah, it's 1,300 square feet.
Okay, and how many rooms are there?
This is a 2-bed, 1.5 bath. The kitchen was recently renovated and has all new appliances.
Great. Does the price include any utilities?
So the tenant is responsible for water and electric, and the landlord pays for the trash pickup and yard maintenance.
Are any pets allowed?
Yes, there is a pet fee of $250, but we don't allow aggressive dog breeds if you have a dog.
No, it's okay. We have a cat.
Okay, perfect. You would just pay that at the start of your lease.
Okay, thanks. Well, I'm definitely interested. How do I apply?
So we have you complete the online application form. After that, we'll run a background check, and if it's all okay, you pay the security deposit and your first month's rent. We can prorate that as needed as well, depending on your start date. And then you're ready to move in.
Now, is that security deposit refundable?
We expect some wear and tear, so outside of a possible cleaning fee when you move out, the rest of the deposit is fully refundable, yes.
Okay, great. Thanks for your help.
You're welcome.
Now, let me give you some really useful information that will help you when you're looking to rent accommodation in the United States. How much will I pay in rent? There are a lot of things that are connected to how much rent you will pay. If you're staying in a big city compared to a small town, if you're staying in a 3-bedroom house compared to a studio apartment, there are lots of things that will affect the rent. I'm here in Florida, and as an example, this is 2023. The prices of accommodation here in Florida have been going up recently, and you can expect to pay between $1,000 and $1,500 around about. This is an example for a 2-bedroom apartment. It's maybe more if you're looking $1,500, $1,500 up to $2,000, maybe more if you want to rent a house, a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom house. That will be more expensive. Again, that's for Florida. What do I need to pay at the beginning of my lease? Once you've found the house, you then need to pay. So the things that you need to pay at the beginning of your lease, you need to pay the security deposit. We said the money for any breakages or damages. Then any administration fees, your application fees. You'll also need to pay, if you have any pets, you'll need to pay your pet fee. And then most places will expect you to pay your first month's rent. What other costs can I expect to pay when I rent in the United States? Again, this really depends on who you're renting from and where you're renting. It is normal to pay some utilities, maybe not all the utilities, but some of the utilities. So that might include obviously your gas, water, electricity, those kind of things. Normally you will have to pay yourself. That means you'll have to set up an account with the electricity company or with the water company. There might be additional fees if you live in a condominium. You might have what we call the HOA, the homeowner association fees. There might be costs for maintenance, for yard work, perhaps trash collection. So there are a few things to think about as extra costs when you're making your budget for renting. What documents or information will I need to give the landlord before I can move in? Again, this really depends on who you're renting from. If you're renting from a private landlord, they might not ask for anything. They might just say, okay, move in, just, pay me the rent as you go. Normally, if you're working with a property management company or a landlord that has a lot of properties, it will be a little different. They will probably want a number of things. For example, they will want proof of income, just to show that you have a job. They normally expect you to have an earning, the money that you make from you and your family, to be around 2 to 3 times the price of the rent. They will also ask you for references. That means they'll want to speak to people who know you. So this might be a personal reference from somebody who's a friend. It may also be a work reference from your employer, and probably they'll want a reference from a previous landlord, from your last landlord or from a landlord that you've had in the past. This can normally be written or spoken, so they might call them, or it could be an email or a letter. They will also do a criminal record check, so they'll check to see if you have any past criminal history in the United States. And they may also do a credit check, which is just checking to see if you have any outstanding bills, any bills you haven't paid, and that you have a good credit score, which shows that you pay your bills on time and that you repay your credit cards if you have credit cards. Again, this is different depending on who you're renting from. But again, if you're renting from an agency, a property management company, these are the things normally that they will ask you for. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me. I hope this information is useful for you if you're looking to rent in the United States. Don't forget, if you enjoy the videos, please give me a thumbs up, and also don't forget to click to subscribe.